I'm pretty sure you've already seen crazy block placement clips like this one, and every time you saw it you thought, how the hell good he is. But I bet you can learn how to do the same thing in every game in just a couple of days, and in this video I'll tell you everything you need to know to become one of those players. But before we learn all the crazy techniques, we should first figure out the whole sense of block placements. Generally, the main message of this chapter is to be calm, but fast. The main point of using blocks in PvP is to put your opponent in an uncomfortable position, but it can happen that by placing a lot of blocks without thinking, you cause an uncomfortable position for yourself. You should always understand what you are doing. Are you trying to trap your opponent? Are you trying to start combo lock? Or are you just trying to hit him as much as possible? But there's a problem. Your opponents think too, and if they see that you are about to use some technique against them, they will try their best to prevent it, so you have to act fast. Now let's talk about the block PvP techniques themselves. Perhaps the most popular of them is God method. This is a technique in which you build a pillar with a height of 2 or more blocks and come out from one of its sides, immediately hitting the opponent. If you perform this technique correctly, from the opponent's perspective, it will look like you hit him first and only then came out from behind the pillar, which gives you a huge advantage when using this technique. If you play Bed Wars or Bed Fight, you'll definitely need the skill of making bed traps. Here's what they usually look like. Another useful technique is the middle exit. It consists of building a horizontal line of blocks at the level of your head, then breaking one of the non-edge blocks and immediately exiting from the resulting hole, immediately striking your opponent. This technique performs well because it allows you to easily get your opponent into a combo lock. Like the God method, if executed perfectly, it allows you to hit your opponent even before he can see you. To upgrade this technique, you can also build up a head hitter so that your opponent can't just jump up and hit you from above, and so that you can hit your opponent faster the second time. Block stop is the oldest, but still one of the most effective block PvP techniques. It consists of putting a block in front of your opponent so that he crashes into the block and stops. This can be done either just to stop the opponent's sprint in order to start comboing him or to trap him. You can also use it to stop your opponent from performing his technique, like this. Edit. Basically just an unfinished version of middle exit. The point of this technique is that you break a non-edge block in a wall or horizontal pillar, hit your opponent, and immediately put the broken block back. By combining these techniques or simply using your imagination, you can come up with other useful techniques. Now that we've learned the major techniques, let's move on to step 3, tips and tricks. I think if you're learning or about to learn block placements, you've already came up with the question, how do I train this? Here's my step-by-step solution. Firstly, choose one of the techniques. Then practice performing its normal form in a single world or on a speed builder's training map. After that, learn how to use it in a real Bed Wars game or in duels. I advise you to train it on a server that is not far from you, so if you live in North America, it is worth trying the server called Hypixel. If you live in Europe, try corelmc.it, and so on. After you have trained the basic type of this technique, try to add simple combinations to it like head hitter for middle exit, first in the single world, and then in the game. Also, here's a tip in the game. Pay attention to your ping and your opponent's ping. Here's why. First of all, if your ping and your opponent's ping are approximately equal to 50 milliseconds, then if you put a block and your opponent is in the place where you put the block 30 milliseconds after that, that block will immediately disappear. In addition, the lower your ping and your opponent's ping are, the later you should come out from behind the pillar when using God method. So, in 4 minutes you learned everything that the best PvP players have been going towards for many years. Now you can train block PvP and reach one of the best block placement skill. But if you would like to chat with me or just find some good friends, visit my Discord server. The link is in the comment and description. Consider subscribing to my channel and see you in the next video.